Hey everyone. So today is part two of the introduction to the World War I unit. We're looking at the assassination of the Archduke Franz Ferdinand, as well as some of the other causes. This is the proximate cause of World War I, the immediate reaction to, or the event that immediately causes the fighting to start. So make sure that you watch the video. It's going to have some things that I'm not going to cover in here. Basic ideas. What is Franz Ferdinand's situation politically prior to him going on the trip to Sarajevo and Bosnia, and what are some immediate reactions to it? So please make sure that you do that. This next image is a nice animation, the initial bomb throw, and then the Archduke continuing on to City Hall, then the wrong turn down the street, enabling Gavrilo Princip to assassinate him. The first assassin actually jumps into the river in an attempt to get away, but there was a drought that year, and so the river is dry, and he succeeds only in breaking his leg and then being captured. For Princip, he, after the assassination of both Sophie and the Archduke, attempts to swallow a cyanide pill, but it's possible that due to the pill being old, all it succeeds in doing is making him vomit, and so he vomits the poison back up and is eventually captured and brought to basically like the town city courthouse type thing. Um, so this is just kind of some background on in terms of how it happens. The nationalist group listed at the top, Narodna Odbrana, is a Serbian nationalist group that is secretly helping to fund Bosnian resistance to the Austro-Hungarian regime. The Black Hand is the extremist, is a small, unorganized, kind of, I don't want to say meaningless, but it's a small extremist group or wing of this particular national defense um, nationalist group. This is not associated with the Serbian government. However, the Narodna Odbrana does have members in it who are members of the apparently higher ups in the Serbian military and Serbian government. The story of how everything gets there is kind of cool, but for our purposes, you can kind of tell by the map down there at the bottom, at least a little bit. Princip and another assassin make their way around. The guns and bombs follow a different path. They meet up in Bosnia and then make their way down to Sarajevo. The bombs and stuff are hidden actually in a box of sugar, and that box of sugar, there is some evidence that suggests it was inspected, but yet there was nothing. The customs officer just saw sugar in there and so never reached any further. The bottom line is there is quite a bit of failure that leads to this assassination, including the Austro-Hungarian forces. They actually tell everybody what the plan is for the Archduke and his wife in making their way there. The Archduke is taking his wife as part of an anniversary present because this is the first time she's really allowed to even participate as an official state member. Previously, she has to be kind of shuttled through side doors at official functions and things like that because she's not a member of the Austro-Hungarian royal family. All of these failures, security failures, accidental failures, the initial assassination attempt, the wrong turn, ends up leading to this assassination and the death of the Archduke. This picture is a very, very famous image. It's often quoted as it being Gavrilo Princip in there. That is not him. In the confusion surrounding the assassination, Princip is being beaten, and as a result, this guy actually steps in and tries to stop the beating from happening so that he can be captured. He is then removed for his own safety because people start to turn on him thinking that he is involved. But you often see this picture as Gavrilo Princip. We do have the actual Browning pistol that was used. The Archduke's clothing that day. You see the car that was driven in, the official royal car that was used that day. So we're entering into the realm of modern history where we start to see a lot more of these artifacts pop up. The problem is, for the Serbian nationalists, they actually killed a guy who would have probably been a supporter if maybe things don't happen 5 years down the road. As you saw in the video clip, the Archduke was kind of willing to listen to this the Slavic nationalist movement, and would be willing to kind of make it into an equal partner with the Austrians and the Hungarians as well. Fortunately, that obviously does not happen, and that's going to lead to a month later, Austria-Hungary delivering an ultimatum to Serbia to kind of do this or else. In it, they detail, okay, no more Mr. Nice Guy, we're done playing games. You've supported these nationalist groups for way too long. We have evidence that members of your government are involved in these groups. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to write an apology stating that it's absolutely your fault that this happened, and you're going to print it exactly as is. Then you're going to admit wrongdoing and the complicity in the murder by officers and officials within Serbian military government. Then you're going to make a concerted effort to combat the propaganda that has been issued by Serbia and by these nationalist groups within Serbia, declaring that Austria-Hungary needs to be gotten rid of and these Slavic groups need to join together and blah, blah, blah. The sticking point here from the ultimatum is going to be that Austria-Hungary wants their own police to conduct the investigation in Austria-Hungary and then prosecute any of the members deemed to have been involved. That's going to be an issue, as we'll see in a minute. And Serbia, you have 48 hours to get back to us. And so we then see Serbia respond to this 2 days later, so within that time period, basically saying our bad, we print the apology that you wrote for us. If there are members of our government and military who are involved, all you have to do is show us the proof and then proof they're gone and we'll deal with them. The problem is, no, you cannot arrest on our soil. The analogy I used in class is a Canadian syrup salesman is murdered in the United States, and Canada wants their Mounties to politely come down and arrest the person, and then their powdered wigged judges to adjudicate that case. It's not going to happen. It's on your soil. You're not going to let a foreign power come in. And that's what Serbia says. According to our constitution, we cannot allow another group to come in and prosecute this and prosecute our people. Serbia then says, hey, but listen, we get that we're not exactly totally on board, but this isn't the end of discussion. So let's keep talking. Maybe let's invite some other countries into this. Let's take this before the Hague, the International Court, to try and settle this, and we can figure this out together. It doesn't have to mean war. This was just an image that I thought was kind of clever in terms of who actually starts World War I, because I think there's a tendency that after World War II, there's an assumption that is made that it's all Germany's fault, just like it was in World War II, and that's simply not the case. That brings us to the Willy Nikki telegrams. These are posted as well. What I'd like you to do is to go through who is Willy, who is Nikki, and then go through and see, are they telling the truth? How would you describe each other based on the wording that is used? How would you describe the tone of those letters, telegrams, excuse me? Does it change in any way? So I'd like you to go through those, make sure that you do that. And that is it for this lesson. We're then going to be able to move forward into World War I and move on from there. Have a great day.